Yo, what is up guys, and welcome. It's InfernoKun back with my Q&A number 13. So thank you guys for commenting down below in the other video, giving me some questions because there were a bunch of awesome questions. So I'll get to as many as I can in this video. So go ahead and comment down below your questions for the next video that will probably be in April. So we'll see if questions don't get too old by then. So anyways, first question coming from Edward Carnby asking, what's your favorite anime and why? My favorite anime all time is Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. That was my childhood, watching Naruto, watching some Shippuden, reading the manga. It was all really good, and that series stuck to me more than any anime could. So I just love the action, the characters are great, and my favorite character from Naruto is definitely Sasuke, so just love Naruto. Anyways, let's go ahead to the second question coming from Lane Mac, asking three of them, saying, favorite new character from The Walking Dead Michonne. Problem with that is that I feel like Walking Dead Michonne didn't have that many likable characters. I mean, other than Pete, he was pretty cool, pretty funny and cool, so it would probably be him, even though he's a comic character. But other than that, I mean, Samantha wasn't, too good. Greg wasn't too good. Nobody was, just an interesting character. So probably just Pete, if that could be it. Then you ask, who do you think we will play as in Telltale Games Batman? So I think Batman, or Bruce Wayne actually. Batman and Bruce Wayne. You could be playing as both of them, going through some Bruce Wayne stuff and also some Batman stuff. That's what I'm thinking as of right now. Then you ask, do you like Jesus in The Walking Dead? I think Jesus is like hilarious, and he is also like just awesome, man. Like how he just like a ninja basically, getting out of the cuffs, getting out of everything, getting out of being tied up. He is like ridiculous, man. He is just what I wanted in The Walking Dead. Anyways, we'll go ahead and move on to the next question coming from Cellsor Asher Forrester, saying, do you think it will be better if Lee didn't die or Roderick slash Asher didn't die to make the games better? Now, I think the story is what's important in this game, not necessarily having, every character just be alive at some point, because, it's like, you gotta be under that tense thing. That's what The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones is about. You can actually die at any point. Characters die. And then, like, it's very shocking when they die. Like, you didn't expect Lee to die. You didn't expect Asher or Roderick to die in Game of Thrones. And just that shock value makes the story even more better. I mean, yeah, it sucks. They're dead, obviously. It sucks that Lee died, but all of us crying at the end of episode 5 of The Walking Dead, that is what made it a great game. Just having, a sad moment, a shocking moment. So that's what I think, that's my opinions on, would it be better. I mean, if Lee was alive in season 2, that would have been awesome, but just, the story is important. So let's go ahead and move on. Next question coming from Jack Connolly, asking, would you prefer The Walking Dead Season 3 or all these other titles first? Now, I would prefer to have these other games come out first, because I'm not in a complete rush to see Season 3. Obviously, I am extremely hyped for Season 3. I really want it, but they have, Batman coming out this year, Game of Thrones Season 2. So I think the more time they have to think of a plot and develop that plot and just, get some great ideas for Season 3. Basically, what I'm saying is just like, I wouldn't want them to rush Season 3, like, oh, it's coming out this summer, or it's coming out, in a couple of months. No, I want to give them time to make the story as best as possible. So that's what I think about that. So anyways, next question coming from Waru Crook, asking, do you have any ideas of how The Walking Dead 400 Days characters could tie into Season 3? They could probably tie into Season 3 in some way, unless they're dead. But, other than that, they could probably be an imposing force, or they could just be a group that's helping out Clem and, whoever's with her. That would be awesome, whichever one they go with. Actually, them being an enemy towards Clem or us, or them being, with Clem. So that's what I'm thinking, and that's what, I will be hoping for, actually. So Question from Clementine saying, what is your name? So here on the interwebs, I go by InfernoKun, but my actual real name is Javoris or Javaris. I'm not even entirely sure how you say my name. People call me Javoris, and people call me Jav, so that's the first 3 letters of my name, and it's a lot more easier, and it's kind of stuck over the few years. So anyways, question from MattDogHD saying, top 5 favorite Telltale characters from any game. Awesome question, awesome question. So number 5 would probably be Jane from The Walking Dead Season 2. Number 4 would be Beshka from Game of Thrones Season 1. Number 3 would be Bigby from The Wolf Among Us. And number 2 will be Asher from Game of Thrones Season 1. And of course, number 1 will be Sasha from Tales from the Borderlands. So that's my list right there. Thank you for the awesome question. Anyways, moving on. Question from Paul saying, what game are you looking forward to playing? So right now I am extremely hyped for one game that isn't coming out this year. It was delayed, but it's Mass Effect Andromeda. I played Mass Effect, the whole series, like I think last year at some point, through the whole thing, and it is amazing. The choices were great, the story was amazing, other than Mass Effect 3's ending. But anyways, you know, it was an awesome experience. If you guys have not played the Mass Effect trilogy, go play it. I swear to you, it is an amazing experience. So anyways, question from Taco Pup 22 asking, who was a sadder death, Lord Forrester or Carly? I think that Lord Forrester had a sadder death because his was like really sad. I mean, obviously you didn't know him for like the first episode. I mean, you just got attached to him, but you know, seeing how it affected Garrett was really sad. Carly was just a shocking and also sad death. I mean, it happened so fast and it was out of nowhere. So I mean, I'm guessing that just how it affected Garrett and how the whole, you know, situation seemed, Lord Forrester's death was extremely sad, and Carly was too. I mean, obviously it was shocking, it was out of nowhere, it was sad, so I guess Lord Forrester would win that one. Anyways, moving on, question from Titus Tucker asking, would you like to be a cast zombie in the Walking Dead TV series? I mean, I wouldn't mind it personally, just to be on it, but you know, if I could be a walker that like bites somebody important, then there you go, I'll be happy about that. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on. Next question coming from JRS TV asking, if there's a sequel to Life is Strange, do you think it will take place as another character from another location? I definitely think so, because in an interview with the devs at the kind of like, I think it was like the early to midway of the season, they said if they were to make a season 2, they would choose a different character and a different location. So that's what I think is going to happen at that point. Whether they follow through with it is up to them, but I think that it definitely could and should. Anyways, then you ask favorite Fallout 4 and Fallout 3 character. Now, I don't think I have a favorite Fallout 3 character. I mean, I don't really remember much. I haven't played the game in a while. But there's characters like Amada and, you know, your dad, I forgot his name, James, and, you know, characters like Moira Brown that were interesting as well. So probably one of them. But Fallout 4 favorite character is Curie. She's one of your female followers that is a Miss Nanny at first, but you can go ahead and, you know,
Your thoughts?
spoiler alert if you guys don't want to know about that. But anyways, you can transform her into a human synth. So, you know, Curie is the most adorable follower ever. I mean, she speaks French and her lines are just so adorable. She's just, I don't know, I love her. She's awesome. Anyways, question from Carpel. No, sorry, I said I'm sorry. Anyways, you ask, do you have a pet? I do not, but I've had a couple pets in the past, mostly dogs. All dogs actually, but I had 2 dachshunds and I don't know what the other one's called, but first one was named Roxy, second one was Dylan, and the third one was Little Bit or something like that. So definitely when I get my own place, I would love to get me a little beagle. Like, they look so cute and awesome. So definitely would want to get a beagle whenever I get my own place. Anyways, moving on. Question from Jay Deblin or something like that. I'm sorry. Anyways, you ask, will you ever play Undertale? Now, people have asked me to play it, but personally, I mean, I'm not an extreme, oh, graphics are everything person. I mean, I can play games that, you know, have bad graphics, of course, but, you know, Undertale is like a little pixel game, and I just can't play that. I mean, I don't see myself playing it. It's also like, I wouldn't say turn-based, I'm not really sure, but I just cannot do pixel-based games or something like that. And also, it's 2D. I cannot stand 2D games. I don't know why. I mean, I just don't like them. So, yeah, I mean, I heard the story was actually amazing, and I just can't get past the graphics. I mean, obviously, I've been playing on a laptop at very bad frame rates and like 720p for like the longest ever, low graphics and everything. So, you know, I'm not a graphics over everything person, okay? So, you know, just so you guys know that. Anyways, question coming from Salty Pleb asking, are you a dank meme? Unfortunately, I am not, but with your help, Salty Pleb, I can definitely become one in the future. Anyways, question from Assassinate D4Z asking, would you want a Season 3 teaser / hint for The Walking Dead in The Walking Dead Michonne? Or do you think Michonne's and Clementine's story should never connect in any way? Although it would be very cool, I think that it probably shouldn't. I mean, I think Michonne's like where we're at in the point in the comics, like that universe is a bit further ahead than where Clementine is or was or something like that. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong down below, but you know, it would be awesome, but I'm not sure what time it takes place and if everything actually, you know, is synced up with the Telltale Games The Walking Dead story or anything else. So if it can be done, it could, but you know, I wouldn't see it happening. I don't know why. I see it just being standalone from the Telltale's, you know, series. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on. Question coming from Dragon Ball Radiant asking, how will The Walking Dead Season 3 work out? Because basically they are going to have to integrate choices from both seasons. Now, that would be pretty interesting. I mean, obviously games like Mass Effect, they let you import choices from each game, like Mass Effect 1, choices matters in Mass Effect 2 and 3, and so on. You know, it can happen, it can definitely be done, but problem with Telltale is they're on a episodic based schedule, so time is a big issue with how they want to do Season 3. You know, Mass Effect, they have a couple years to actually make a game, but Telltale has a couple months, so I'm not really sure how it will work out. I mean, they can do it, you know, episode 6 of Game of Thrones shows that they can do different, you know, scenes and different stuff based on what characters you have, so it depends on if they can do it in the amount of time that they have to make an episode. So that's my opinion on that. Anyways, moving on, question from Gotta Log asking, how did you find out about The Walking Dead and Telltale? Now, if you guys do not know, The Wolf Among Us was my first Telltale game. Episode 1, Faith, I think I played it around October or November, and that was my first Telltale game experience, and I absolutely loved it. I played episode 1 and it was amazing, and I was like, hold up, I think I remember some Walking Dead series made by this company. So whenever I did that, I went to go play the whole the first free episode of Walking Dead on the Xbox, and it was absolutely amazing and I loved it as well. So I went ahead and purchased the season pass on PC and bench played that game all day. I probably took a break or two, but anyways, you know, it was really fun, and playing through the whole series, playing through that was like an amazing experience. So interesting how Wolf Among Us was my first Telltale experience, because you know, that's pretty crazy. Wolf Among Us was. So anyways, go ahead and move on. Question from Raru Crook asking, do you think the Telltale Batman game will take place in the Batman continuity in the comics? Now, personally, I'm thinking of an original story type thing, you know, kind of like how the Arkham games does it. You know, they have their own story doing the different things with the different, you know, villains and stuff like that. So what I'm hoping for is that they make their own, you know, standalone story that is like not, you know, comic based, but also not Arkham based. just make their own story, whether it be canon or not. I mean, just have some interesting stuff happen in there, and that will be pretty good. So I don't think it will, but we'll see about that. Anyways, moving on, question coming from Nemesis A-Type asking, if only one Telltale game could have a sequel and you have to pick, which game would that be? I mean, you already know what I'm going to choose, probably. Tales from the Borderlands. I would love to see a second season of that game so much. I mean, it was so much fun, so many laughs, and, you know, just would love to see it. Anyways, moving on, question from Jordan asking, what's your favorite movie? Currently, as of right now, after, you know, watching it and loving it so much and just loving it even more, it would have to be Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. That movie was astonishing, made me cry a little bit because of how awesome it was, and, you know, it was a great movie. So, you know, other than that, I probably do like an honorable mention to Deadpool. That was a good movie as well. So, anyways, let's go ahead and move on. Question from Argo Gaming asking, do you have any siblings? I have currently at the moment 3 brothers and 3 sisters. If you are looking for that answer, okay, yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on. Question from David Garcia asking, do you think The Walking Dead Season 3 will be the last season / conclusion of Clementine's story, or do you think there will be more still to come? Now, that's a good question. You know, will Telltale go ahead and continue the Walking Dead series? I mean, obviously, stuff like the comics still going on, TV show is on season 6, the game could definitely go on. I mean, I'm not sure if Telltale wants to go ahead and just, you know, rule out The Walking Dead completely. I mean, showing by, you know, Michonne and stuff like that, they are interested in doing more Walking Dead. So, I don't think it could be. I mean, it could be definitely, but I don't think so because The Walking Dead is big for Telltale. I mean, it pretty much got them started in their games nowadays. So, anyways, go ahead and move on. Question from Sonic GX asking, what would you like to see from the Batman Telltale game? So personally, I would want an engaging story, actually. I want, you know, just it to mean something, because obviously we have a predetermined character, Batman. I mean, he isn't going to die, obviously. But what I want them to do is pull a Wolf Among Us and make it an awesome and engaging story. Make some awesome story beats, some awesome, you know, tense moments in the story, and it could be great. You know, obviously, original characters and original story is something that's like really, really great because they have control over it. But, you know, Batman being Batman, you know, they don't have much control over what he can do or what's going to happen in the story, or actually they do actually, but what they can do with the story. So just make it an interesting and engaging story. That's what I really want to see from Batman. Anyways, then you ask also, who do you think the POV characters will be in Game of Thrones Season 2? I'm thinking Asher / Roderick. I'm hoping for Beskha. I also want Garrett, of course. I mean, obviously. And if that's not all, you could probably throw in Malcolm. I mean, I'm not really sure, so that's what I'm hoping for or thinking that could happen in Season 2 of Game of Thrones. Anyways, moving on, question from Dog Cat Food asking, do you think there will ever be a Wolf Among Us or Tales from the Borderlands 2? Or Season 2, actually. So, I'm not entirely sure because that's up to the original IP owners like Gearbox and, of course, the comics Fables writer, Bill Willingham. It's up to them whether they want to do a Season 2. I mean, obviously, Wolf Among Us, we haven't heard anything at all. Tales, one of the writers said that, you know, it's up to Gearbox whether they want to do it. And I think Gearbox could, you know, want to do it. I mean, they're really, really great people, and they were really, really having fun with Tales. So, unless Borderlands 3 is a factor, then I could definitely see a Season 2 happening of Tales. So we'll see whenever it comes to that. Anyways, go ahead and hurry us up anyway. Question from Mugen Soul asking, do you like survival horror games? I definitely do. Games like Resident Evil, I played 5, that was fun. I played Resident Evil Revelations 2, That one's fun. Have not finished it though, but I have not really played that many. That's why I haven't really done much of it. And then you ask, if you do, could you do some Let's Plays like the Resident Evil series or Silent Hills etc. So I mean, I definitely want to do something like that. I mean, I'm not really sure what kind of games that I would like. I mean, I'm not really sure about the whole survival horror genre, so any recommendations would be great. It's just that I haven't really, been looking at them specifically or just been checking them out anyway. Anyways, question from Killer Kawaii asking, most badass female in Telltale Games history. I would definitely have to go for Beska in Game of Thrones. She is amazing. Like, her sword skills and how tough she is awesome. And then you say, would you be opposed to fan art of you in multiple Telltale games, like in you in Tales or in Wolf Among Us? I mean, I have no problem with that. If you guys do have any fan art you want to send my way, go ahead and do so, and I will definitely be able to, look at it and showcase it on my channel. So if you guys are really interested in that and really want to, you can go ahead and do that. So anyways, moving on to Gabriel Smith asking, in Telltale's Batman, do you think they will implement a fighting style similar to the Arkham games, or will there be a new fighting style overall? Now, Telltale has been infamous for their pointing and clicking and also quick time event fighting scenes, so that's what mostly Telltale Games is deprived of, just that type of fighting style. And for the most part, that worked out very well in Game of Thrones. I mean, obviously Batman is different. Batman can do some insane, just everything. I mean, he knows martial arts, he knows all kinds of stuff, so just doing that with different gadgets, doing that with just fist fighting and stuff like that, I would like to see them, do a great job at animating some awesome Batman, fighting scenes. Obviously, I don't see anything different from the whole press E and mash Q and point to this guy and clicking and stuff like that. I don't see a difference from that. I don't think there will be a difference from that. But obviously, they can definitely implement some different way, because Minecraft Story Mode has had a different way of fighting, actually moving your character and swinging. So it could definitely happen. They can actually just make a whole different fighting kind of thing that can give you more control over how you fight. So that's what I think could happen in Batman. So anyways, question from Aaron Dracula asking, what YouTubers are you watching playing Telltale Games? Now, I watch a few YouTubers, don't really watch that many. I do watch one who plays some Walking Dead games, Miss 5000 Watts. She's pretty interesting, has some interesting reactions. But other than that, I don't think I really have any on top of my head that I watch. I mean, I watch some here and there, but not really ones that I watch specifically. So yeah, anyways, last question coming from YOLO the Horse saying, do you have a job other than YouTube? If so, have you ever thought of full-time YouTubing? Now, I don't have a job, and I am currently still in high school in my last year, currently a senior. So, obviously I am a part-time or full-time student, or how's that work actually? I think it's part-time student. But also I do play soccer for my school, so that's why I've been pretty busy most of the time, and that's pretty much why I don't consider YouTube a job. It's more of a hobby. I mean, obviously I do make quite a bit of money from YouTube, but other than that, I don't consider it a job at all. I consider it more of being a hobby, more of being something that I do to have fun with. And will I ever do it full time? I mean, I haven't thought of it. I mean, personally, I don't think my channel will get to the point where I can do it full time, or that, even if I want that, because, obviously there's stuff in my life that is coming up, which is definitely going to be college and eventually a job. Because if you guys don't know, I want to get into the game development industry, so that's pretty much what I'm working towards. And YouTube, unfortunately, doesn't really provide the skills that I need for becoming a game programmer. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this Q&A, I guess. Thank you for your questions, everyone. Comment down below for my April Q&A, and I'll get to that as soon as early April. Thank you all so much. You guys are awesome. like if you guys did enjoy, and subscribe for more. This has been InfernoKun with my Q&A, and I will catch you guys next time. I'm out.